I often say that you are not stuck in your relationship. Most people aren't stuck in their relationship. A few of you are, but some of you it's hard. It's really hard to do. You could get out of it. You could start a new life, but it's really, really hard. However, if you're in a bad relationship right now and you didn't break up yesterday, according to the Bert Show, you are stuck in this relationship until after January. We call it dump day, right?
Yep. Yesterday was dump day, and it's a day that we have designated that if you already have one foot out the door and you're on the fence about whether or not you want to stay in this relationship, well, if you didn't break up yesterday, you're going to be stuck for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, and Valentine's Day, because then you're just the a-hole that broke up with somebody at a holiday.
Yeah, they're already looking for a reason to make you the victim anyway, or to villainize you, I should say. So now you give them the perfect opportunity. If you break up now, it's so close to Thanksgiving. Oh, I can't believe how big he or she a jerk is right now to do that right before Thanksgiving. And it's right before Christmas. They're just waiting. Oh, what an a-hole right before Christmas, right? And then it's New Year's, and then it is Valentine's Day. Abby is here to add on to our dump date theory.
Yes, if you're not in a if you weren't in a relationship by yesterday, turns out you're also not going to be in a relationship by Valentine's Day. So it's not just dump day. It's if you've already been dumped, you're staying dumped. So if I didn't already feel hopeless about getting into a relationship yesterday, it's not getting any better, because I saw this theory on TikTok that reminded me a lot of what we were talking about dump day, where if you haven't broken up by yesterday, you're a big jerk. Well, if you're still single as of this week, there's not going to be a lot of hope for you, according to @AllChelsFails on TikTok.
Let's say you meet the perfect person tomorrow, right? If you're single now, you're going to be single on Valentine's Day. Here's why. Let's say you meet the perfect person tomorrow, right? We're mid-November. You see them maybe one more time. You go home for Thanksgiving. You come home from that. You see them maybe 2 more times before you go wherever you're going for Christmas. You come back. It's 6 weeks till game day. There's not enough time. If you're single right now, you don't need to clear your schedule for February 14th.
So if anybody wants to do anything on February 14th, my schedule will be wide open.
Right. Let's debate this one, because it doesn't feel like it's as strong an argument as dump day. You got plenty of time. Okay, so it's probably not going to happen this week. All right, so let's go ahead and scratch this week off. But let's say you go back home or whatever, and you do meet somebody, and you guys exchange Instagram, whatever. I certainly think it can get pretty heavy before Valentine's Day, even if you're not in town that much and spending time with your family.
Maybe after the first of the year. Like, I think you're going to have somebody by New Year's Eve? No, I don't.
It's not enough time in December?
No, I know, because everybody's so busy with the holidays and Christmas parties for work and holiday parties for this and, Friendsgivings, and there's so much stuff going on that I just don't see you having time to incorporate dating somebody. So do I think you'll find somebody by 2024? Nah, fam, enjoy being single for the rest of the year. But that January, I think that lull in January, you could potentially have somebody not serious, but enough to call them a person of interest for Valentine's Day.
So I don't think it's totally hopeless, because my first year post-grad, I actually met somebody at an ugly Christmas sweater party. And while we didn't make it to Valentine's Day, the one thing that was difficult about that situationship was he constantly had to go home to visit his family. So like we met, mid-December for, the ugly Christmas sweater party, but then he had to go 5 hours south to go hang out with mom and dad for Christmas. And then New Year's came. He could only come up for 1 day for New Year's, had to go back to the family. And then by that, communication was so bad that things had dissolved. So it's possible, but it's not easy.
I agree with y'all as far as up to the first. I do think there's enough time in January, but I also feel like men, if you meet somebody new, you may not fully commit because you don't want to get all of those gifts, so you can kind of take it slow. And maybe you won't get a full commitment out of a guy, or maybe he won't show how much he really likes you until after.
Okay, I'm just going to say this. I'm going to counter this a little bit, Kristen, because you've been married for so long, that the power of when you initially meet somebody, and if you really do think that they're the right person and you have all those endorphins going, and you will move heaven and earth to be with that person. So I think even if the holidays are coming up somehow, some way, if they're the right person, you can still get into this relationship. It's not going to go to 0 to 60, but I think it can be pretty strong before Valentine's Day.
Even with both of you flying out of town, though, I think that's what makes it hard. because you actually go out of town typically on these holidays.
Now you got, FaceTime and texting, and I just think it's a lot easier, Tom.
It could happen because I had this friend, his name is Sam, and his wife had passed away, and his son called into a radio station, and Sam went on the air and kind of spilled his guts.
Yeah.
And then he met this woman named Annie, and they ended up meeting on Valentine's Day at the
really?
Empire State Building.
Whoa.
And they lived happily ever after.
Amazing.
So it can happen.
Was Sam also from Seattle, perchance?
Maybe.
Did he have a hard time sleeping at night?
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if it can happen to Sam, it can happen to anybody.
The Bert Show.